Hello YouTube, it's another episode of Pokemon Unbound, but this video is going to be a small segment. I'm just going to like cram onto the episode like proper. So, you know, Twitch is not seeing this, it's just me and you right now. Ooh, we can say mean things about Twitch, but we won't, but we could. This is, by the way, what I'm doing right now. I I think last time saying, you know, I want to go through the port and do the gate puzzle. The gate puzzle, by the way, in Antithesis City, it's purely based on timings, so I need to come to this port at various times during the course of the day, and certain gates open and close. That is basically the gist of this puzzle. And I said it'd be really, like, annoying to do on camera, on stream, sorry, because I need to come back here, like, multiple times during the course of the day, which means I need to, like, turn on and off my, like, legitimate Game Boy Advance, and turn it back on again, and, you know, like, it's just a lot of resetting. Anyway, it didn't feel like something that would be very appealing to watch on stream. I said maybe I'll do this off camera, but what I'm actually going to do instead is I'm going to just like record it now, and I'm going to pause whenever I need to reset it, so hopefully it's not that annoying to like deal with, basically. Part of the reasons why I want to do this right now is there are some items I can get here that I'm going to want for the gym battle, so yeah, that's the whole reason. This is one of them. Assault Vest, phenomenal item. Yes, very good. Very, very good item. So I needed to grab this. I think now for this moment in time, though, for this timeline, this is the only thing I can grab right now. I need to change the time, but for YouTube, I'll pause it now, and when I come back again, we'll be in the future. Okay, we're now 6 hours into the future, right? Therefore, another gate should have opened for me, and this will give me another item that I'm very much desiring. I believe it's this one. Throat Spray. Also quite useful. I think this is the only thing again that opens at this time, so I'm going to need to change the clock forwards again. Although I say this, I need to change it at least one more time. It's actually 2 more times, I think. Although, hang on a minute, let me quickly check something. Oh, maybe we're actually good, because there's a Zygarde cell over here, but I've already collected it. Clearly, I was streaming at that time. There is one more item in this area. I guess for completion's sake, I should go and grab it, but it's just a max potion, so I'm actually not that hot on it. If I don't get the max potion, so be it. Where is it, by the way? It apparently is up here. I must have already got it. Already say hidden item. I must have gotten it because it was here. Okay, well, that'll do for this, like, small little subsection, but as I said, it was a lot of turning on and off the legitimate Game Boy, so I felt like, you know, I'll do it in its own time, do the pausing and stuff so that you don't have to, like, worry about it. Anyway, YouTube, you should now be getting transitioned into the main episode proper. Enjoy! Hello, YouTube, hello, Twitch, it is some more Pokemon Unbound. Last time you left me, we were fighting in the gym, and honestly, I think we actually had some, like, bare bones good ideas for how to deal with the gym. In case you're, like, forgetting what the gym was last time, we're playing the fighting gym, which is only using, I think, 2 fighting types in the entire gym, which is a bit unfair. It really should be called the Ultrabeasts gym because there are 3 Ultrabeasts in this gym, but generally speaking, the gimmick of this gym is every Pokemon in it is unbelievably heavy. And that's not me, you know, throwing like shade or anything. They are just heavy Pokemon like Terrakion, Wailord, Buzzwole, Guzzlord, Celesteela, I think is the heaviest Pokemon in the game, and Mudsdale. And then the other part of the gimmick is that the gym uses Trick Room, but for weight, as the big gimmick. And I also think I'm not allowed to use Fairy-type moves in the gym, so it's somewhat restricted, but really the big deal is that Trick Room for weight basically means that there is not a bug in the game I can use which will outspeed any of these bugs, which basically means I can't ever have speed control, and speed control in Pokemon is one of like the most important tenets of the game. Like, it's crazily important, but I can't deal with it. Anyway, we had a team last time which was, I say we got close. We were knocking out 3 or 4 of the Pokemon, but we had this backbone of like the slower, chunkier Pokemon. I think we had in that Wormadam Grass, we had Centiskorch in there, we had a Scavalier, we have Shuckle, and I think who were the other 2 I had in there? I can't quite remember the other 2 now, but we had 2 other tanky boys in there. And basically I took some of that idea and just extrapolated to be, you know, which Pokemon can deal with this Pokemon, which Pokemon can take this attack, and so on and so forth. And eventually I came up with this team of 6. Now, I will be honest with you, my original start, because I think I mentioned this last time, was I might try to do a rain-based team because a few of the Pokemon which are really annoying have Flamethrower, and Flamethrower obviously into bugs. Not going to be a good time, right? So I put together some rain theory, and then when I like came to actually like trying to test it out, it was awful. Like truly awful. Like one of the big problems actually was that if I gave him a turn to put up Rain, Wailord became a huge issue, which otherwise was actually not a big problem. So I decided that I couldn't really do Rain, but some of the remnants of that build are still in my party. I was gonna like level with you right now. I can beat the gym with this party. I've actually tested it. I know I can do it, but it's gonna require me to make some predictions, which is quite difficult. But we'll get to that when we get into the gym. Anyway, I've bred 5 new Pokemons, in case you're wondering. Only Cliff is actually a true survivor from the last time, and even then, we maybe could have done something better than Cliff. And I've actually changed his moveset as well, so we'll talk through all the Pokemon. I've generated my 6th Araquanid, by the way. Araquanid is going to be in this team. We have Ocean now. Ocean is holding Light Clay, because they are going to set up Reflect for me. Araquanid can only learn Reflect. I don't think it can learn Light Screen, so it's here for Reflect purposes. It does also have Rain Dance, which may come into play at some point, but realistically I can't Rain Dance until after Wailord has been killed. And even then, there's probably going to be better buttons to push than Rain Dance. But for the most part, this thing is going to put up Reflect on turn 1. Mudsdale is their lead, and the Mudsdale will always switch out, so I'm like pre-set of what this game start's going to be. And the start is going to be very similar to what we were doing last time. We're going to lead with a Reflect user, they'll switch to Buzzwole, I'll switch to Shuckle, they'll switch to Wailord, I'll switch to... It was Flowerbed last time, but it's a different Wormadam Grass this time, and the Wormadam Grass will kill Wailord. That is going to be the opening. I came to the conclusion that was actually a pretty good tempo play that we came up with last time, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that is going to be the plan for the start. And then we have to like ad-lib from there, because they can do a variety of different paths from that position. But anyway, the Araquanid is retained in the party for a few reasons. Firstly, it's actually got a pretty good matchup into Mudsdale, theoretically. Theoretically good into Terrakion as well. And actually pretty good into Guzzlord. If you can get into a 1v1 with Guzzlord, Leech Fang does super effective damage to Guzzlord and basically heals up any damage Guzzlord can do to this. And we're quite specially bulky, so that is part of the reason why Ocean is here. And then actually Celesteela, the final Pokemon, with Liquidation, it can do neutral damage into it. Then we have on the list. Actually, before I just say that, this is the EV spread for this new Araquanid. It's basically just very bulky, and I've spread across special defense and a bit of defense as well, just in case it gets into a defensive matchup with some of the other Pokemon, because half the Pokemon in this gym are physical attackers. Cliff is basically the same as he was before with Rocky Helmet. He still has Rest, he still has Toxic. The differences here are that he doesn't have Rock Slide anymore, because I never get to lead with this thing. I'm always going to be slower than them, so I'm always going second. So Rock Slide won't ever flinch, and this thing doesn't really do any damage. Knockoff's been added instead, which is really here for Celesteela. I have to knock off Leftovers for me to kill that Pokemon. It's so unbelievably broken otherwise. And we've got Power Split, which is just like the additional button that I might sometimes push into Buzzwole so that I can take a few more hits from Buzzwole and just like stall the game out a little bit. But Cliff is here basically to stall the game out for when Buzzwole switches in, because Cliff, the Shuckle, very good into Buzzwole. Then, Rosebush is basically the same as Flowerbed from last time, to be completely honest with you. Small changes in the moveset. It has Protect, Rain Dance, which I'm almost never going to push as a button. By the way, this originally was going to be my Rain Dance use, and I was going to give it Damp Rock to like give me multiple turns of rain. And it turns out it doesn't work very well, so I ended up giving up on that. So Rain Dance is still in this Pokemon, but I'm probably never going to ever push that button. But Leaf Storm's on him, and Leaf Storm can basically one-shot Wailord after it's been Toxicked. And then Sucker Punch is another way for this Pokemon to win. And by the way, the reason why I've rebred this Pokemon is I didn't have like the perfect stats on it before. This now has like got perfect IVs. And with the way I've put the EVs on this Pokemon, there's actually 2 ways for this thing to kill the Wailord. Either it just Raw Dogs a Leaf Storm, which I think is 85 accurate, maybe 80 accurate. And if it misses the Leaf Storm and it's got Toxic on the Wailord, which is almost certainly going to be the case, then it can also Protect for a turn and then Sucker Punch, and that combination will kill Wailord. The berry it's holding is a Yacha Berry, which means it takes reduced damage from Ice or super effective Ice type moves. And Wailord will hit this thing with Water Spout. It would normally Ice Beam it after that, but it can't. Well, it won't Ice Beam it with the Yacha Berry on it, so that's why this is here. Instead, it'll use Clear Smog, which will not do a lot of damage. So that's why this berry is on this Pokemon. Then we have Everglade, which honestly is just Glade Mark 2. I actually kind of fucked up with this. I've been like desperately before the stream started trying to fix this problem. I thought Glade would be appropriate for this battle. Like, it was actually doing pretty good work for me last time. So I was like, well, Glade's fine. Like, we don't need to do anything about Glade. But actually, if you look at the old version of Glade, he he has actually quite a low special defensive stat, and this thing is really here to switch into like Guzzlord or something. It's one of the few Pokemon that can't just get one-shot by a big special attacking move. Admittedly, 4 times weak to Flamethrower, which is in there, but we'll try and like deal with that as it comes. But anyway, I need to end up breeding one that has a better special defensive stat, so this is what Everglade is here for. And it's basically the big difference between Glade and Everglade. This thing has got more special defense. And actually, if you look into the EV spread, I've given this thing specially more special defense at the cost of an attack. The trade-off here is that Glade can one-shot Guzzlord with this amount of attack and live through some certain attacks. You may have also noticed my Everglade, or my Glade, has a new item. It's called Assault Vest. If I've been smart, I should have put a small bit on the front end of this video. I went and grabbed from the dock the Assault Vest and the Throat Spray items, which I'm actually not using Throat Spray in this battle, but I'm using Assault Vest. And because I'm using Assault Vest, his moveset is now all attacks, which is what they were before, but the attacks have changed slightly. Mega Horn is in there because Mega Horn will one-shot Guzzlord. Knockoff is in there because sometimes the Everglade actually has to knock off the Celesteela. And Metal Burst is in here as my new Steel-type move, because it theoretically can take a bit of a beating and then hit back with Big Steel move. And then Drill Run is here, honestly, as just a additional button to push. I'm probably not going to push that button that often. One of the things about this battle, as I said, and you'll see it as I get into it, I need to do a lot of predictions of switches. And one of the big predictions is that I need to predict when Guzzlord, and I think it's fairly consistent, that Guzzlord will switch out in the face of Everglade into Celesteela, and if I can predict the swap and do knockoff into that Celesteela, that drastically increases my chance of winning, because that Celesteela is actually a nightmare incarnate. In testing, in case you don't know what the Celesteela does, the Celesteela has leftovers. It's got a really big defensive stat line, a big health pool, and this thing will just leech seed you with leftovers, with substitute, and it's just basically impossible to get it off the field. It's just so unbelievably tanky. By the time you kill the substitute, the leech seed, and the leftovers, heal it back up like beyond the amount of health you spent doing the substitute. So it can basically just stall in the field for an indefinite amount of time. Without leftovers, though, it struggles to do that. So that is part of the reason why this guy is here. One other thing worth mentioning, in case you're wondering like why specifically these EV spreads. With this spread, Everglade with Assault Vest should live through 1 Core Enforcer from Guzzlord and 1 Flamethrower from Guzzlord. It should just live through it, and if the Guzzlord stays in, theoretically I can just Mega Horn back, which again is a low accurate move, so there is a bit of like hand waveriness about that. But if it does try and do that, I can Mega Horn it and I'll just one-shot it. But from my experience of testing, especially like by the time I refine this team, the Guzzlord will not stay in. It'll recognize it can't kill me, and I can kill it, so. Then we have Onsen, which is Center Scorch. Why am I using Onsen instead of Hot Springs? Well, I came to the conclusion after looking through the stats, I actually wanted a physically attacking Center Scorch, so that is what the Center Scorch is. Center Scorch is normally a mixed attacker, but my other one, Hot Springs, is actually just purely special based. This one is purely attack based, so I changed the move pool because of that. I gave it Adamant, and this is what it looks like now. It has Fire Lash, which by the way lowers the defensive stat stage by 1 of the Pokemon this hits, so pretty good into Celesteela as well. More important than anything else here though, this Pokemon can learn a move called Power Whip and actually can do a lot of damage with it. The reason this is important is the 2 big threats I would say in this party, and I say 2, there's actually quite a lot of threats. Celesteela, if it ever sets up Leech Seed substitute leftovers and I can't interrupt that, that will win. I can't really deal with it. The other big one is Terrakion. Terrakion is a real actual nightmare for me. And if I can theoretically have this into Terrakion, I've always got the threat of pushing Power Whip, which will mean that Terrakion won't do Swords Dance. As soon as Terrakion does Swords Dance, I lose. I can't kill it once it sets up 1 Sword Dance, so I need the threat of a huge amount of damage, which is why, well, part of the reason why I actually went for this attack spread, because Power Whip is a huge damaging grass move. I think it's like 120 base power, and it's an attacking base move, so I wanted to do as much damage with this as possible, so if this thing goes in front of Terrakion, it can Power Whip it. Terrakion into this will almost certainly Rock Slide. It's 90% accurate, there's a 10% chance it misses, but failing that, at the very least it stops its Sword Dancing. As long as it stops its Sword Dancing, my next Pokemon can deal with it, which is Tarpit. Tarpit is an Amaldo, which actually, funnily enough, I fucked up the EV spread of this Pokemon, and again, just before camera, I learned a new thing. There are actually berries in the game that lower your EV, so you can like basically reassign your EVs at will. I do have quite a lot of these berries right now, but not enough that I could just do this like willy-nilly on every Pokemon in the party, but this is a very specific case. It's actually quite hard to get an Amaldo with good IV, so I thought this would be the time to use it. What did I fuck up originally? Well, originally on my spreads, which you'll see in a second, I had some special defensive stats in here because my plan down the line is to make Amaldo the Assault Vest wear it. He's not wearing it right now in this battle, but down the line he'll wear it. So I wanted to give him some special defense EVs, and I kind of calculated, you know, the defense this Pokemon would need to live through a Terrakion attack. Because if you can live through one Terrakion attack, this Pokemon can beat Terrakion. With its move pool, which I'll show you in a second, it has Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail doesn't quite one-shot even with Tough Claws, which is his ability, but it leaves in a situation where Aqua Jet, the priority move, will kill Terrakion. So theoretically, it will kill Terrakion. The problem with my original spread was that if it does Sword Stance, then like Rock Slide kills it. So I kind of fucked that up a little bit. To be fair, if it's Sword Stance, I still lose because close combat one-shots me now. So I couldn't really solve all the issues with this this theoretical situation. So I need to be very careful of it, but it's really the big one of this battle. The big ones of this battle is when we get Centiskorch in front of Celesteela in such a way that it's not fully set up, and also get this in front of Terrakion before it Sword Stance. If I can achieve those two things, I probably can win this battle. In case you're wondering for the items, by the way, this is Charty Berry, which reduces rock damage from one super effective move. Again, this is really here for Terrakion, so that if Terrakion Rock Slides me, it will live through a Rock Slide. Onson's got a Cobra Berry. Cobra Berry is to reduce super effective flying type moves. Celesteela will try and hit this with Air Slash, and actually one of the nice things about this Pokemon in particular is it also has Flash Fire, which means if I'm predicting a Guzzlord or a Celesteela Flamethrower attack, I can just swap into this guy, take the Flamethrower, take no damage, and like reset the tempo, especially if it's Celesteela, because I can then get this basically in front of Celesteela for free, and that is a huge, huge deal. But yeah, that's generally the plan, and the plan is to like get through Celesteela, get through Guzzlord, get through Terrakion, then hopefully what I've got remaining can deal with the Mudsdale and the Buzzwole. So yeah, that's the party. I'll say some honorable mentions. I've actually been working quite busily off camera. I actually EV trained a few other Pokemon. Originally, Mushroom Island was in this party as part of the Rain team. It was a supportive Parasite with Dry Skin, so theoretically with Leftovers and Rain, it could heal a lot. Also, it's going to treat just in grassy terrain, but it was just too hard to set this thing up. It gets one-shot by like everything, so I gave up on that idea. Atoll, I've also made an improved version of Atoll, super strong now, but it's not very appropriate for this battle. Also, not quite got all the full moveset in there. Ignore Rollout. I've also had a go at making Mothim. Mothim's not a good Pokemon, but I've got some Mimi moveset out, which maybe we'll play with after the gym battle, so we can beat the gym battle, with Subterfuge and setting up some Protect into Hyper Beam strats and then getting Ejection Button out to the battle. I'll try and explain it as like I get into it. And then Lake of Rot is my new Venomoth. And this is here as a special sweeper. This actually is what's going to have Throat Spray on it eventually, or potentially with the Pokemon that have Throat Spray on it. But currently I don't have Bug Buzz. I don't learn it quite yet. So for now, there's no point in putting it on. I'm also not using it this battle. Anyway. I don't know how this gym's going to go. I suspect, by the way, I'm not favored to win this battle. As I said, it requires me to make a prediction. If I can make an appropriate prediction, we can win this battle. If I get a prediction wrong, I will almost certainly lose the battle. It's that type of scenario. Also, even if I make the prediction right, there is still a chance I lose. Because you have to bear in mind that, as I said, I'm using stuff like Leaf Stone, which is like 85 accurate. Megahorn is 85 accurate. They have flinching moves in the form of Slash, which is always going to go before me. In the form of Rock Slide, which will always go before me. So an unlucky flinch as well will also take me out of the battle. But anyway, there's basically two openings we're looking at here, and both of them, I'll do the same thing, so it's kind of like irrelevant. Mudsdale is either going to swap out or it's going to do Smackdown. I prefer it if it swaps out, to be honest with you, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. And we're setting up Reflect here. I need to set up a Reflect early because Buzzwole will beat Shuckle without the Reflect. It's actually quite important to have this Reflect set up. So, okay, they're going on the line where they swap out instantly. I'm actually quite happy with this. Reflect goes up. This basically means that Buzzwole now, in this state, can't really beat Shuckle. Shuckle can just infinitely stall it. It's not quite true. If it gets a crit, it will break through Shuckle, but... Anyway, he sucks me. Joke's on you. I'll do basically as much as you did to me, if not slightly more. Now, because the game's going to recognize Buzzwole's not particularly good into Shuckle, what would be good into Shuckle? Ooh, a Water type. We're going to swap into Wailord now. And I'm going to Toxic it. Again, this is 90 accurate, so it could miss. I think missing also probably just caused me to lose the game here. I'm not entirely certain on that calculation now, actually. Just don't miss it, Cliff. Now, this thing is going to use Water Spout, but Water Spout is going to do less and less damage the more and more the poison takes through. Also, grass types resist pretty well, and this thing is very specially bulky, so we're going to go into Wormadam now to take the Water Spout. It's going to take another turn as well of Poison at the end of this, or Toxic at the end of this, which means Water Spout is doing less and less damage. So actually, after this move, it's going to look at my health pool, look at its health pool, and go, oh, well, I'd like to Ice Beam, but I can't because he's holding this berry, so I can't kill him. So therefore, we're going to do Clear Smog instead. And actually, if I didn't even give it the berry, it still lives through one Ice Beam. The problem is, if I miss my Leaf Storm, I just lose the battle. Now I actually have a play. If I miss Leaf Storm, I can still kill this Wailord. So Clear Smog's going to do very little. I should actually be able to take another one. Alright, we hit Leaf Storm, it's fine. If I'd failed that, I would have done Protect and then Sucker Punch, and the Toxic would have killed him, I think. It would have been there or thereabouts. And now this is where the battle actually starts for real. Almost every time Buzzwole comes up onto the field, I need to be going to the Shuckle, but I need to be very careful with my Shuckle to not leave it in a situation where if I swap it in, it's going to die. And this is the other thing about the Ultra Beasts. Because of the Beast Boost ability, I really don't want to let them pick up KOs, otherwise it messes with all my damage calculations, so I have to be seriously careful in this battle. So we're going to go for Toxic here. It might swap. I don't think it'll go into Celesteela. I'm hoping it'll go into Celesteela. It stayed in. Okay, that's fine. This is all part of the plan. Oh, the one other thing I need to be extraordinarily careful of, and it's basically what will cause me to lose this game. If I get Shuckle in front of Terrakion, I will lose. Probably. Especially if I rest the turn that this happens. Because as soon as I rest, and, I rest, they switch, they'll set up a Sword Dance and Terrakion will sweep my party, so I really can't let that happen. I'm actually going to try Power Split here. It's a bit of a bold choice. Okay, they swapped. Are you going to go into Terrakion? Guzzlord. Okay. Well, ironically, that's actually fine. I've basically halved Guzzlord's stats because Shuckle has no offensive stats. There goes the Reflect, which also kind of matters. I should still be able to beat the Buzzwole with Reflect down, but the Toxic goes a long way in letting that happen. And it's going to be really hard for me to get the tempo back to ever set up Reflect again. Anyway, anytime I see Guzzlord, I should go into Everglade. I'm going to predict again, and I'm hoping this is true. It's going to use Core Enforce and not the Flamethrower. Fine. If it used Flamethrower, we lose the game on the spot. But why would you Flamethrower a Shuckle? It doesn't make sense, right? They should do nothing. And more importantly, especially with the power... I was going to say Power Bond, but that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Wait, what is that move called? Power... Not Power Whip. How's my brain? Power Split. With Power Split, the Flamethrower can't kill me from here, so I think it's worried now that I Mega Horn it because Mega Horn will one-shot. I'm predicting it's going to swap to Celesteela. Because Celesteela also has Flamethrower, and also they can reset the Guzzlord stats. There goes Leftovers, which is huge. The other big thing that can happen for me now is it's going to try and Leech Seed me. If Leech Seed misses, we are, so in. As long as I can stop it Leech Seed substituting, then we're in a great spot. It has Leech Seeded, but even then, without the Leftovers, the substitute, stalling isn't going to be quite as impactful as it would otherwise be. Are you going to actually do it? No. Oh, this is the other way we lose this game. If this flinches me, which is a 30% chance, I lose. And there's not all I can do about it. It's not quite true, but it's, mainly true. Okay, now we've got a chance. So the defense drops down. They can't use substitute currently. My prediction is it's going to go for a kill here, but I'm not entirely certain. This is where I have to be, very careful. I think Air Slash kills from here. In fact, I know Air Slash kills from here. But the question is, which Pokemon would I go into right now? Because I don't really have many good options. Ocean would be bad, but actually, Ocean wouldn't be a bad Pokemon to finish off Guzzlord either. I could go into Everglade, but I'm always, a little bit scared of Flamethrower coming out. We could just take the hit, but if we take the hit, the Beast Boost on Celesteela gives it some more special defense. So it's actually sort of awkward. And if it swaps as I swap and I make a bad swap, then we just, you know, lose. And the other thing is, going into Cliff right now, which would probably be like the theoretical best choice since the Rock would resist the flying type, so it's a neutral move. Cliff can't hurt this thing at all. It will actually, with Leech Seed and, well, not Leftovers anymore, with Leech Seed, it would out-heal it. I think we're going to go into Everglade. I think Everglade's now basically a bit of glue that holds the party together. Because the one thing that's worth noting is once Guzzlord has left the field... Sorry, once Guzzlord has left the field after Core Enforcer in this one time, the damage calculation doesn't quite work as well anymore, because if it Core Enforces into Flamethrower, it will actually kill me, so... we'll see if this thing's Flamethrowers. And actually, if it Flamethrowers, does it kill from here? I'm not entirely certain the calc. I suspect it will do. Okay, they swapped into Guzzlord. A shame I didn't Mega Horn there, because Metal Burst, like, the one weakness of it is it requires you to get hit for it to work. Which, by the way, is also a benefit in this battle because I go second, right? So theoretically, I should always be slower than the opposing Pokemon. Guzzlord is a bit of an issue. Because how do I get into an appropriate situation? I think we're going to Ocean now. I'm pretty certain this is Flamethrower incoming. I could actually go into Scent Scorch as well, I think. But we take reduced damage from fire type moves with the water bubble effect. And actually, more importantly, are you going to stay in here? They did. This is going to do a lot of damage to this guy. Even with like no attacking stats in the Araquanid, it's 2 times weak to bug type moves. And this one also heals me back up. And it's a special attacker. I'm especially defensively quite bulky. Yeah, it's basically a great trade for me. And I'm slowly like chunking away at the health. I was going to say, they're probably going to swap at some point. This is probably going to be into Buzzwole now. It is Buzzwole. So we'll get a bit of extra damage into the Buzzwole, and now we go back into Shuckle. This is another stage where I need to be very, very, very careful now. And we could still lose this game. In fact, I might even argue if the game is smart here, I should not be favored from here. Because Cliff is going to have to rest after this turn. He should be able to take 2 more hits from this thing, I think, barring a crit. Yeah, he'll take another hit if it's not a crit. If this thing swaps to Terrakion on this turn, which it might do because of the poison... Oh, I'm going to lose. It's Terrakion, I think. Oh, it's not Terrakion. Pog. We have a chance. But yeah, if that was Terrakion, I would have just lost on the spot, because Terrakion next turn would do a Sword Stance, and I would just lose the game. Also, did I just hear my stream go down? Nope. I think my stream's still up. Perfect. Right. In this situation, I'm sorry, Cliff, we're going to have to leave you asleep. I need to go back into Ocean. And we rinse and repeat, basically. That's slightly scary, but again, we live through another crit even. Don't be Terrakion. How do I feel about Mudsdale in this scenario? It's a little bit early for me dealing with Mudsdale, honestly. I could use this opportunity to set up Reflect again, because I think its best move into me is going to be Rock Smash, which isn't not that effective, but still. The alternate line I can actually take here is I could do Rain Dance, which would do... Well, allow my water moves to do disgusting damage. And I still have Armado in there, but I really don't want to use Armado to try and pick up the kill here. God, it's so awkward, like, managing my resources. I think we put up Reflect again. I might have fucked up here. I think I might have needed this still for Buzzwole. And I'm really worried about going into Shuckle here. Because Rock Smash... or Smackdown, I don't think it's a contact move, right? So you're not going to be taking damage here. And as I said, as soon as this thing swaps to Terrakion, I just lose. Shuckle, I need you to wake up, by the way, buddy. Chuckle, I need you to wake up, buddy. Okay, Mud Sail's now toxic, so we can stall this guy out as well. The Reflect is going down very soon. This thing has got... The item's not that important. I think I'm going to Power Split it. That probably caused it to swap. I'm really concerned, actually. I think I might have fucked up here, you know. Because I really want to rest, but if it's Terrakion, I just lose. Damn. It looks stupid, but if that was a swap into Terrakion and I get the Toxic, it's so good for me. I think I have to do it again, by the way. It's so scuffed. I bet you when I rest, he swaps. Okay, he didn't. Where are we with Toxic? You die on the next attack. And I think it's... Oh no, it died on this attack. That's actually pretty good. Okay. Actually, is this good? Famous last word. Actually, I've come to the conclusion this was extraordinarily bad. I think I've lost. Because it's going to Swords Dance now and I can't deal with that. Yeah, I've lost. I actually fucked up. This is the one scenario I couldn't let happen. Have a sleeping cliff in front of the Terrakion. I can't win then. If I had a Pokemon where it was threatening lethal, as I said, like if I had Onsen in front of it, I could win. Because I could just push Power Whip, so if it's Swords Dance, it died. But Cliff can't threaten any damage to Terrakion, so it's just free to Swords Dance. And if it's Swords Dance, it can one-shot Amaldo, whatever happens. Yep, I fucked up. I need you to wake up. Is rest guaranteed 3 turns of sleep, by the way? Alright, I'm super dead. I lived, because it's sturdy. Actually, there's a way to get me to win this, potentially. It's too late now, but... If I could have set up a scenario where I rested on that turn and I kept Rocky Helmeting with the one-shot, but... I mean, it wouldn't have happened. We'd have got one more use out of it. Anyway, I'm just going to let Shuckle die here. And basically, Shuckle is here just to let the poison sponge it a bit. If we get it low enough, Amaldo can kill it, by the way, with Aqua Jet. One of the reasons, by the way, why I kept Rosebush alive and why it's got Protect is this scenario. Keep the poison ticking over. I mean, theoretically, I could go for Sucker Punch, but I don't think Sucker Punch poison kills this turn. If I want to keep this thing alive, I have to hit it with Protect. Oh my god, we hit the 33%. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I don't think you're going to kill with the Sucker Punch, sadly. Also, by the way, this thing has... What's the move called? Fuck. The ability, sorry. Justified, is it? Yeah, it has Justified, which raises, I think, both his attack stats if he gets hit by a Dark-type move, which is what Sucker Punch is. So, in some regards, it's kind of risky to try and Sucker Punch it if I don't think I can kill it. I'll try, because it's dead to poison anyway if it swaps. Yeah, I didn't think I'd kill. That trigger's Justified, but it doesn't matter, it's dead. It has no way to heal this back off. But Wormadam, great work. I never would have considered you and Shuckle killing this Terrakion. And Sturdy Maturin so much. That's actually huge, because now my Amaldo can be used to fight Guzzlord instead. And I think it can fight the Guzzlord. The final issue is Celesteela. Because I don't think Onsen lives through an attack into Celesteela anymore. Who's left, by the way? It's Celesteela, it's... Buzzswole is still alive. That's slightly annoying as well. And Guzzlord is left. I'm going to go into Everglade because I think I'll go into Celesteela to hit it with a Fire-type move, or Guzzlord to hit it with a Fire-type move. And I'll change my tack slightly. I'm predicting Fire is incoming, so I'll go into Onsen. And I'll eat it up. I don't know if my calculation here is if Onsen lives through, though, any other attack from Guzzlord. If it does, Lunge will kill from here, I think. Okay, it definitely kills, that's why they're swapping. Now, my problem now is Celesteela is going to hit me with Air Slash and kill me. Doesn't matter. So it's definitely Air Slash incoming. God, I wish you had a better moveset for Celesteela. I guess theoretically this is my best Pokemon, but it's like... It's not great here. And actually, the problem with this is, if it flamethrowers me, I'm going to take a lot of damage. I don't know what the calc is on that. I think you have to go in. You'll take an Air Slash very comfortably. If we die to Flamethrower, so be it. It'll let Armaldo get in. I don't know if Armaldo could one-shot from here, but I'm going to pray that it can. And you know what? Let's... Actually, no, we should knock off. Just in case they did this, they swapped. Retrospectively, I should have Mega Horned and predicted the swap, but I knock off your Assault Vest, right? My prediction again. Fire-type move incoming. Onsen, get in there. And I'm gonna trap you in an infinite loop. Oh, baby. Then they should swap again, right? Unless it thinks it can kill me. Yep, it's swapping again. This is fine. Back to Celesteela. I'll do my chip damage. Don't mind. I don't mind. This is good. Lower that attack stat. Very important. Back into Everglade. It's going to be Air Slash. Now, at some point, I'm going to lose this trade because Celesteela will flamethrow me instead, but... I think we've honestly done enough already. Alright, we've got him in a loop. I should have Mega Horned! Why am I not Mega Horning? It actually doesn't make any sense why I didn't Mega Horn there. That was actually a misplay. If I lose this battle, it's completely my fault. I should have won this one. I knew what was going to happen in the loop anyway. Oh, they stayed in. Do they kill from here? They didn't believe before, but do they believe now? Not quite. A crit would have got me, but again, I had to ride the luck this battle. Speaking of which, I still need to ride the luck a little bit. Did not expect Buzzwole here. Buzzwole, what is it going to do? It could do anything, actually. Like, legitimately anything. And it's going to get an attack boost from this, but it's going to die to Toxic anyway. You know what? I think we go into Ocean, because actually I don't need Ocean anymore. Oh, actually, hang on a minute. This was a bit stupid. If it does some sort of lifesteal, it's going to get more life for it. Yeah, okay, this was stupid. It doesn't matter, actually, but... actually, maybe it does matter. I might have fucked up here. I should be okay, but... I've kind of, like, not done a smart thing. I don't know how much Aqua Jet's going to do from here, but... I'm not convinced it kills. Nope. How much does this heal back up? Don't kill me, Buzzwole. Oh my god. I don't protect anymore either. I'm actually in so much danger right now. I should have honestly just hit it with an Aqua Tail. Thank God he didn't lifesteal there, by the way. I don't know what they were thinking, but it was not a good play from them. I just need to turn right now. If they swap, I'm actually going to lose. But if they swap, I should Fire Lash. That's my protection here. Because we'll now trade 1-for-1. It's can a Scavalier kill Celesteela from this situation? Because I think you're dead right to Toxic. Yeah. And this is actually down to, does Everglade live through 4 times Flamethrower with an Assault Vest from here into Celesteela on 1 health? If we can live, I think we can win. I'm also going to assume Metal Burst is the most damaging move it can do. If you Leech Seed me as well, though, I lose, so I think I have to knock off. But I don't think this kills. I think I fucked up. I think I've lost. How much... Wait, let me just do a quick calc. I think Mega Horn's only 85 accurate, though. Mega Horn's better, though, right? Because it's stab versus non-stab 65 base power. Knockoff. I should have won this battle. I let the Guzzlord get way too much value. Don't miss. I live. I didn't miss. Yeah! Let's go, Everglade. Wasn't even close. God damn. That was closer than it should have been. You know, I'm going to blame the weather. It's like 30 degrees. In fact, it was 32, I think, outside. My room is normally like 5 or 10 degrees higher. So it's probably like 42 degrees in my room right now. I don't think it's 42, but I think it's in the high 30s. I am sweating away. Thank you, Lucario Zealot. Oh, Rock Climb is actually extremely useful. If you've actually given me the TM for it as well. Alright. And even more importantly for me personally, with all my fucking insistent on breeding bugs, the next city I get rewarded with a perfect IV Ditto, which is going to go such a long way in helping my life. Alright, let me grab some bugs, and I think what we're going to do now is, I'm going through the sewer. I can't actually remember if I can get those stocks. I said I needed to get Waterfall for it, but now that I think about it, I might not need Waterfall for the socks. There is a TM down there that I want called Sludge Bomb. I think that I need Waterfall for, but I might have to get the socks. And actually, this would be another really good quest to knock out right now, because the reward for getting the socks and then doing the quest that results from that, pretty good. So, and it's also another boss battle. Anyway, Glades, get out the preset box. Let's bring, I need a surf, so we might as well bring Ocean. Cliff, get back in the box. Wormadam, back in the box. You have got a very niche use, and I don't think we're going to find it in the sewers. I'll keep Amaldo because it's quite fun. I'll also keep you out because it's quite fun. Onsen, in the box. Oh, other things I did off camera, by the way. Where is it now? Where's my other Parasect? I got a Toxic Orb, so this Parasect is now holding Toxic. I have got a Toxic Orb. Eventually, I'll put it on one of my Parasects, aka this one, which is more offensive with Poison Boost, right? You got Toxic Boost. Yeah. So I'll give it that at some point, and that'll be its item. Anyway, we will bring this guy. I just want to see how bad he actually is. What is an onsen? It's the Japanese word for a communal bath. To be honest with you, is it really a natural thing? Probably not. I don't know, like, very specifically if that is. But I know that you can have, like, natural, like, hot springs and hot spring baths. It's like what Japan's famous for, or one of the things it's famous for. Other than, you know, like, anime. But yeah, I don't know if calling an onsen like a natural thing is appropriate, or if it's got a different word, if it's a completely natural one. Is an onsen just a man-made one? I don't know. But anyway, I call it onsen because the other Centiskorch is called Hot Spring, and he's basically like two sides of the same coin. One of them's physical attacking, one's special attacking. So I decided to give them basically the same name. Anyway, Atoll in the party. If I put you in the party boost stream, to be honest with you, I really need someone to set up Rain. Actually, we've got Ocean, that's fine. We'll set up Rain with Ocean. And I guess you're going to be the bridesmaid, Lake of Rot. Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed by the number of environmental, roughly based names I've come up with so far. I'll forgive myself. Okay, you can hold on to... Not the Toxic Orb. Oh, also off camera, I got a Hisui Rock, which is really good. It's the Evolution Stone to give you the Hisuian variant of a Pokemon. And that's actually quite important. I needed to get one through this playthrough because Cleavor is Hisuian. So I can now get Cleavor when I get Cypher. What am I going to give you? I was going to give you... Do I have some Black Sludge? I thought I did, but maybe I don't. Or if I probably put it in a Pokemon. Where's Black Sludge? I do have Black Sludge. You can hold Black Sludge. Oh, you may have also noticed, and I'm gonna like own up to this one right now. I'm sorry, I've committed heresy. My Hearthstone collection, we were like up to 285, I think. It's now down to 65. I'll explain it to you because I needed to get some gems. The way to teach Mega Horn to a Pokemon and Power Whip to a Pokemon is via the Move Tutor, and they need 4 Bug and 4 Grass Gems respectively. And my only way to get gems right now is to trade Hearthstones for gems. So I have to trade 20 Hearthstones for 4 of each of these gems, which is, you know, quite a lot of Hearthstones. And actually it was more than that because I fucked up the Bug Gem one. So I actually had to get 8 Bug Gems. So I'm sorry, Hearthstone collection, we can rebuild you. But, yeah, down to 65 right now, which is honestly a Pawpaw level. Pauper level. Right. This sewer, I'm going to be honest with you, I cannot be bothered dealing with the random encounters. I probably should do since I need to level now. But just give me the trainers. I'm also not... Please. I'm not entirely certain right now. Also, I've just realized something else. I think what always causes me to get confused here is there's 2 ways into the sewers. One of them's via my base, and I think I have to go in via my base to do this quest. I may be wrong, though. Sine, cosine, tangent. I mean, Pythagoras here. In the sewers. Yeah, the graphic's wrong, you're right. This is the graphic I fought the gym with. Hang on a second. You're not here anymore. Oh, I should really lead with Mothim, because I'm probably going to use Mothim, like, this one time. Escavaler's here, you're here, Shuckle's not here. I think I brought Parasect instead. Araquanid is here, Worminum's not, but I can't remember who I brought. Oh, Glaring Wheezing. That's not who I brought, but... Hello. Oh, Scoliopedes. So this is the party. It probably will change very shortly, though. Alright, Wheezing. You are a Poison Fairy type, I believe. Which is unfortunate, because the strat I was about to start and set up was... I was going to try and get into Mushroom and just stall you out for the entire game. Instead, we're going to Everglade. Everglade, pretty good here. Steel, immune to poison. Steel, super effective into poison. See what I mean? My one issue right now is my steel-based move requires me to be hit for it to work, and I'm not sure they can hit me. I'm going to believe they can. Okay, they can hit me. But the damage is negligible, it turns out. Okay, sure. God, Pokemon trains are cool. Can you imagine having a Pokemon? Like, you train it, you know, you look after it, you're giving it all these berries and stuff, giving them all these items, giving them, like, a heavy vest and stuff, and you're like, okay, I'm out of options, fucking explode. That's the best option, I'm sorry. You have to explode for me, your master. It's like, what? Boss, I don't think I agree with this. Actually, I'm going to change your movesets. Metal Burst was good for that battle. Actually, Metal Burst full stop is pretty good, but I think I'd rather have Smart Strike, because it's just, it doesn't miss, which is nice. And it doesn't require the opponent to actually hit me. So yeah, we'll go with that. He couldn't beat with the Pythagoras Mumbo Jumbo, so he just exploded. How do you think Pythagoras feels when we just call it Pythagorean, like, Mumbo Jumbo? Anyway, is this where the socks are? Please. I'm being a bit sussy right now. Yeah, I can't get down here because I don't have waterfall, because clearly that is a waterfall, right? So, I'm not sure then. Maybe I can't get the socks yet. Maybe I do need to have it's a waterfall, sorry. But I'll have a quick run around. I might need it for both, to be honest with you, Sludge Bomb and the socks. Alright, Science Society Scientist. Is that your official title? Scolipede, very based, I like it. Again, I don't know what I'm shot by. I can't really use my Parasect here to stall because it's a poison type Pokemon, so we'll go into Everglade. When has the tangent ever helped anyone? It's funny you should say something like that. I mean, it wasn't like Sokotoa, which was normally what we call the laws of like sine, cosine, and tangent. But about a week or two ago, my dad was doing some decorating in my sister's room, and he needed to calculate, like... So there's a hole in the ceiling from basically where a light is getting removed, and they needed to put in some plasterboard on top of it to fill the gap, but also be able to put that bit of plasterboard through the gap. So, you know, like, imagine a rectangle, you had to put it along the diagonal, then turn it round, and then, like, go over it. I used some good old GCSE, A squared plus B squared equals C squared calculations to work it out. So, it came in use. It did take me about 20 years for it to matter, but it mattered. They were right. The skills, you were alright. Anyway, sadly Drill Run is neutral here because Bug resists ground. It's like the only thing Bug's good at. So actually, I should probably use Smart Strike, not Drill Run. Yep. And you have two more. Magnezone. Oh, fuck, you're gonna have Magnet Pull, right? Can I swap? I can. It doesn't have Magnet Pull. It has, therefore, got Levitate, I think. Alright, here comes the stall. Leftovers. Leech Seed it. And if I had Rain up as well, then it would be getting a Rain heal as well. Oh my god, it was a crit. Okay, fair enough. Really? Parasect, come on, buddy. I tried to show you off here. I should really have Spored it first. That was actually my bad. Alright, I guess it's see you later time. Because I think you are not one for this world. Actually, this was a horrible swap. Please don't discharge me. Okay, he did Flash Cannon again, but it's going to discharge me next turn, so I don't know really why I'm happy about this. It's still real bad. But now I know it's going to discharge me, so we should swap again. Eventually I'll get into the situation I want to be in. Fuck, I guess I'll have to go into Atoll. Actually, this Magnezone is a bit of an issue for me. Only because I didn't Spore. If I Spored, I would have been fine, but now I can't Spore because Parasect is so unbelievably slow. I can never set up in that situation again. Yeah, I'm actually fucked here. I think I'm going to lose. Get some more speed. I've doubled my speed stat now. This thing has speed boost, in case you're wondering. So I think my speed's like 200 and something at this point. But how much does X does it do here? It's going to be like nothing. Yep, alright, cool. Very good. Goodbye. Alright, it's time. It's time for Mothim Tech. Now, I'm going to be level with you. Mothim is not a good Pokemon. It has many issues. Firstly, its stats are abysmal. Even with these IVs, its stats are not particularly good. It's also extremely frail, and then for some really twisted and perverse reason, they made it like a mixed attacker. Whereas if it was just a special attack and you took, like, you know, half the attack stats away from it or vice versa, and put them into its defensive stats, it would be, like, somewhat okay. Or put it into its speed so it's faster, then that'd be fine. And the gimmick of this Pokemon, I think, and why they've, like, kept it kind of, like, low on stats, is it can change its type with multiple abilities. One of them is Subterfuge, which is it changes the type to match the move you just used. And that's the one I'm going to try and abuse right now. The other reason why, by the way, that Mothim's not very good is Mothim is the evolution of Wurmple, and Wurmple's like the base bug Pokemon in the game, and Pokemon Company don't want you to just use Mothim for the entire game, so they intentionally make Pokemon bad. But I wanted to use Mothim because, you know, there's a limited subset of bugs I can use in this playthrough, and Mothim is one of them. Anyway, so the plan for Mothim is simple. I'm going to try and change my typing to normal. Now, the best way for me to do this is to use a faster move. Protect is a normal move with a priority, like an increased priority, so I'm going to Protect. This should change my type to normal, I believe, thanks to Subterfuge. This means that if I use a Hyper Beam, which I'm going to use next turn, I am going to be Stab Hyper Beam. Also worth noting, this typing of Mothim is Bug, flying normally. That is one of the worst typings in the game. You are so susceptible to, like, basically every move. Like, one small pebble will just explode you. But now I'm a normal type Pokemon, it's actually not quite as scary, right? My only weakness is fighting. And actually, if I was going up against a Pokemon that I think could do a fighting type move, I could try and use Shadow Ball and turn into a ghost and basically, like, trap them that way, right? I become a ghost, they can't hit me with fighting type moves. If they have, like, a, you know, a ghost type move or a dark type move that they're going to hit me with, I can Protect again and change my type back and mix and match that way. But this thing won't have a ghost type move, so, or a fighting type move, sorry. So I'm going to use Stab Hyper Beam, which actually is not going to be very effective here because it's a Steel type, sadly, so not a best case scenario. But it's 150 base power, it's in special attack, and it's what I've made my Pokemon strong in. This thing, by the way, I've put it as fast as it can possibly be, and it's got nearly as much special attack as it can possibly have. Even then, it's still not quite slow, and actually this strategy would be a bit better if this was faster. Sail Evade. Anyway, I'm going to Hyper Beam in. Hyper Beam has got a weakness, it's 150 base power. The weakness is it takes 2 turns, basically. It'll be the first turn it'll fire, the second turn I have to take the turn off. However, what if I don't take the turn off? What if, instead, I use the item, the Eject Pack, so that when I take damage, I automatically swap out again. I can basically remove the weakness of the Hyper Beam. Then I can swap back into this again down the line, Protect again, turn myself into a normal type, and Hyper Beam again. That's the game plan here. The weakness is, this Pokemon is not very quick, as I said, so I'm not going to Hyper Beam in front of many Pokemon. Also, I'm very fragile. I lived! Bye-bye! So long, you sucker! Anyway, we can now switch into another Pokemon again. Which I think is going to be Everglade, sadly. So yeah, I need, as I said, this only works if Mothim is faster, and Mothim is not a very quick Pokemon. Actually, unironically, if Mothim was a fast Pokemon, it's actually quite a funny gimmick. I would like to try and use it for, like, real in some sense. Wait, I thought you had to levitate. Hang on a sec. Quickly gonna just Google something. Does Magnezone have a third ability? Because I know it's not Magnet Pull, which is one of its abilities. It has Sturdy as well. Oh, it doesn't get Levitate. It gets Analytic. Lol. I didn't know that. Okay, so it loses... Fuck's sake, I kind of cocked up this battle then. I should have just, from the beginning, just pushed a ground type move. I might kill you here. Either way, though, the Mothim still showed its, like, use case. And I don't think anyone's ever showed Mothim off that way. Because it is completely garbage as a Pokemon. Not quite as bad as Dustox, I will say. But it's down there. Oh, Among Us. You're gonna be quick, and then here's the funny thing is Everglade is so slow. I'm trying to think, how will you kill me from here? Because you probably don't have any effective moves into me. You're a poison grass type. Grass is not effective into me. Poison's I'm immune to. And that thing normally does, like, spore shenanigans, so my prediction is you're going to spore me. If I thought that I could go into a Grass-type Pokemon, but my Parasect isn't going to have a great matchup with the Amoonguss anyway. So I think I want to just use this and see what happens. It's Giga Drain. Do you kill me from here? No. I thought it was going to do, like, nothing, but it proves to be true. Especially when Everglade, remember, is holding your Assault Vest and has higher special defense than most other ones would do, so... Amoonguss, you've actually found your, like, nemesis. Just don't miss Meghorn. Honestly, I'm thrilled. That's actually quite a good battle. With my Scuff squad. And dude, Mothim did something. It opened up the lane for Escavalier to pick up a kill. I can't be bothered, like, fucking around with that, so I'll just use too much healing. I can get out of the way, please. I need to go in there. I accidentally stopped you in the worst possible spot. Worker Quinn sent out Excadrill. It's time to show what Parasect can do, I think. I could just liquidate here, but we're going to Rain Dance. We're going to get flinched, aren't we? God damn it. I wanted the rain! One of the sad things about bugs, I think I mentioned this last time, some of the most powerful Pokemon in VGC right now, I say most powerful, but like, some of the best, oh my god, that did a lot. Some of the better Pokemon out there set up like terrains or set up weather when you switch in, like, you know, things like Pelipper, things like Indeedee. There is no bug that sets up either terrain or weather on a switch in, so you always have to use like an additional move for it to happen, which is really annoying. As I said, speaking of annoying, you're dead, Ocean. You're completely dead, so we'll go into Everglade now. One day I'll do the Parasect stuff. That's extremely alarming. Do I kill from here? Please say yes. Oh god. Do I live this? Oh, I sure don't. And Mothim will not be quicker. Oh, I tell you what the answer is. Tarpit's the answer. Forgot I've got you. Got a priority move. Electivire. Oh, I really should take all the consumable berries off these guys as well. Forgot I've still got them on. I don't want to waste them. Use light screen. Foolish. I have Brick Break. I'll break your screen. Really? It's fine. We have Aqua Jet. Why did you light screen there? Almodo is not a special attacker by any stretch of the imagination. Who's your final Pokemon you felt the need to protect it specially? Bronzong? That guy's quite tanky. It wasn't necessary, opponent. You wasted a move. This is going to hurt, by the way. Okay, not as much as I thought. In fact, Almado's quite heavy, right? That's the thing about Heavy Slam, it's the difference between weight. Bronzong is a bit of a chunker, but so is Almado. Park was in Hurricane. Hold on a second. Which one's Park? It's the Mothim. Yeah, I'm going to teach you Hurricane as well, because part of my reason for this is Hurricane is 100% accurate in the rain. And I thought, you know, Mothim might be my rain-based team, and Air Slash is kind of like, eh. So, I'll go with Hurricane as well. Oh, and by the way, there's actually a reason why I've got flying type moves on that thing. And it's, if I become a normal type, I'm immune to ghost. If I become a ghost type, I'm immune to fighting. If I become a flying type, I'm immune to ground. So, like, I can give myself, like, 3 immunities, depending on the situation. Which I think is quite cool. Again, I say cool. Not good, but cool. Okay, we've done everything up here. So is attacking affecting normal moves and special attack affecting everything else? So, in case you're not aware, the attack stat, like you see on the top here, there's an attack stat and a special attack stat. Attack stat affects every single physical move in the game, and your physical attacks will go into the opponent's defense stat. In the case of Ocean Liquidation, which you can see by this, I was going to point to the screen, but this red box with like a yellow flash in it, it dictates this is a physical-based move. So this will use my attack stat and will go into their defensive stat on the opposition. If a move is special, you use my special attack stat, which is the one in red in this case, and it will go into their special defense. And if it's a special move, it shows like as this blue-grayish symbol with like a white ripple on it. There's then a final set of moves which are like the non-damaging moves, like they just move. I think they're actually just called moves, and they don't really use any of your stats and typically set something up, like Protect or Sword Stance as well, like something that will just give you a boost. They will have this white box. There are some very, very small exceptions to that rule. Like, I think there's a move called Side Shock, which takes your... It takes your special attack and puts it into their physical defense, but it'll say it on the text of the move. And generally speaking, a lot of Pokemon are, like, better at one thing than the other. Like, one will be better at attacking and one will be better at special attacking. There are some exceptions, like there are some Pokemon which are mixed attackers, where they can be both a special and a physical attacker at the same time. And then there are some that are more supportive. Typing doesn't matter, it's just physical special. Yes, by the current way the game works, that is true. If we went back far enough, like if I went... By the way, this is quite funny, but I'll talk about this in a sec. If I went far enough back to Gen 1, 2, and 3, then the typing of the move dictates whether or not it's a physical or special move. And in Gen 4, something happened called the physical special split, where moves themselves were defined as being physical or special, irrespective of the type of the move. But before then, basically everything was a special move. If its typing shared the same typing as an evolution, sorry, evolution, so like, you know, Flareon, Umbreon, that type of thing. Plus, oh, what was the other type? I'm sure there's one other one. Oh, and I think maybe it's Ghost. I can't remember now. But generally speaking, if it's an evolution typing, it was classed as a special move, and everything else was classed as physical. So, for example, Hyper Beam in Gen 1 is a physical attack, which is kind of stupid, but that's how Gen 1, 2, and 3 worked. It was the Wild West back then. And most games, especially like ROM hacks and stuff, they use physical special split because it's just so much better. There are some Pokemon which are just like basically unusable in Gens 1, 2, and 3. I'll give an example, in fact. Kingler, not good in Gen 1 because it is a especially physical attacking Pokemon. Like, very high physical attack, not very good special stat. And because it's a water typing and water type moves are special in Gen 1, irrespective of what the move is, it has to use special moves when it's like clearly a physical attacker. So it basically makes the Pokemon kind of like garbage. Okay, Throw. Throw, I think I can Rain Dance in front of, and I think perhaps Parasect won't just get one shot by it. That's the dream. We set up the Rain. We swap into Mushroom. By the way, I should really give this thing now the Damp Rock so the rain lasts longer. We get hit by a Seismic Toss. That's fine. We take this damage. Now, I heal because of the rain, because of dry skin. And I think that's like an 1/8 of your health. Then Leftovers heals me, which is like an 1/8 of your health as well. No, it's a 16th, I think, for the rain. Either way, we heal a decent amount. Then I seed this thing as well. And then basically the combination of all this means I'm healing basically about 3/8 of my health every single turn. And that's really annoying to deal with when you're quite bulky. Problem, Parasect isn't particularly bulky, but I've tried, okay? I think I put like all of its stats into health, special defense, and defense. But yeah, this is basically being a wall. I know, final thing, I can Giga Drain this thing to get even more health back. At which point, like, I'm basically not able to take damage. For singles, I believe this would be called a wall right now. It's just a Pokemon they can't get over anymore. At least until it stops raining. And rain only lasts 5 turns, I think, so... Alright. I end up playing games with this throw. Let me put it to sleep. And honestly, let's speed things up a bit. Okay. That's generally the idea of the rain plaid. That's it. Okay. How do I get out of here again? Because clearly I can't go this way anymore. So there's a path I've missed. Oh wait, it's not gone in here yet. Now that I think about it, this person just gives me a berry, I think. Maybe? Oh yeah, remove berries, you're right. Also, you don't need light play. Sadly, the thing oh, wait, maybe I do have it. Do I still have Damp Rock in my Inv? I do. That makes the rain last longer. Who else got a berry on you? You've got a Salt Vest, that's fine. You've got a berry. I said to remove the berries. I've got like 30 or 40 of these berries, so it's not like the end of the world if I didn't, but... It feels a bit of a waste just to lose them now. A bit like the weakness policy, which I burnt like an episode or two ago. By the way, I found another 1,000 or whatever it was that I needed for that. Oh, I've not been here. Alright. Solved. Item there. They're gonna be happy with max repels. I'm using them all the goddamn time. Okay. I think the only thing that I've not done is this bit of area. But okay, I think I do need surf there. Not surf, waterfall to get to these socks. I thought maybe I could grab them now, but I must be misremembering. Or being stupid. One or the other. We get Waterfall really soon anyway, so it's like, not the end of the world, but it'd be a nice item for me to get right now. Alright, let's get out of this stinky sewer. Do I actually have Rock Climb? They said I could use it, but do I actually have the move? No, because I need to get it from a guy on the route. I just remember where I need to get it from. There's some stuff I can do in this cave, which, by the way, is the cave we were in, like, maybe 5 or 6 episodes ago. It's Thunderclap Mountain. There's actually a really hard quest in this area. I'm not sure I'm going to do it now. Maybe I'll save it for a little bit, but I'll see. But the item you get from it is actually quite useful, so I might want to do it sooner rather than later. And it's one of my regrets of the previous playthrough that I didn't do it on camera. I did it off camera. The quest is actually, like, really hard. The battle is, like, solid. So, and that was on difficult. I was struggling on difficult. On insane, it's going to be insane, surely. Alright. Antithesis City, I love it here. I like that you, like, scam me every time I want to do a heal. Adios, though. Oh, we can play the game again of there's bugs coming up. I can catch some new bugs. I think. In fact, a few new bugs are coming up. Phalanx, by the way, not a bug. Despite the fact it looks very much like a bug. It is a fighting type. I think it's pure fighting as well. Let me let me do the stupid game of setting up rain. It's such a slow play as well, this, which is like part of the other reason why I probably shouldn't be doing it. I'll use the speed up button every now and again. Wow, you might actually kill me here. I didn't check the calc there. You hit another Mega Horn. I think you are going to kill me. You are. Fair enough. But this means I can use Park instead. Park is now going to become a flying type Pokemon for the change of pace. And it's going to Hurricane you. Hurricane's 100% accurate in the rain. I'm now a flying type. Joke's on you. Get rolled. Morphin power! It's the strongest Pokemon in the game. People have been sleeping on Mothim all along. Alright, honestly, I think I've seen enough of this rain-based shenanigans now. At least for Parasect. Let me take Parasect out. It has its uses, I think, but like very, very specific niche uses. In the box you go. I will say now I need to bring Heracross out because that was my Rock Smash user, I believe, so I'll need a new one. So we'll bring Heracross in instead. And I'll keep it Raquinid in. There is some reason to still have the rain. As I said, you just saw it then with the Hurricane, right? Making a Hurricane 100% accurate is pretty powerful. And in fact, one final thing I might want to just quickly consider. We might want to put like U-turn on that thing so I can swap out easier. I can't. Alright, never mind. We won't think about it then. And I think for the time being, let's not lead with Ocean. We'll just try and like bulldoze our way through battles. Oh, I forgot as well, there's a raid down here, I think. It's Phalanx again. Sure. We'll do the Phalanx battle. Should I do it with Mothim? Yeah, let's do it with Mothim, why not? Oh, and of course we're going to bring some bug friends with us. Let's Dynamax. And I'll do Airstream. Another way to turn your 70 accurate move into 100 accurate, turn it into a G move. Huge damage there. Man, I kind of hate the raid arbor. It was kind of like a cool concept, raid battles. But I think in practice, they kind of like don't quite work. And that's not just this game, by the way. I think that's true of Gen 8 and 9 that both have them. I think they'll stay in the game, like, going forwards, but... Oh, fighting gem. Quite useful. Right. Where am I going here? Is there any goodies over there? Nope. Oh, Pelipper. I was just talking about you earlier. You're a rain setter. I would love to use a Pelipper. Sadly, Pelipper, not a bug. Maybe we'll get lucky in Gen 10, we'll get a regional form of Pelipper that is a bug, and still learns Drizzle. But don't hold your breath. Okay, where... Oh, giraffe egg. Where's this guy? This guy, I think. Do you give me rock climb? You do. And now the actual important question, can someone do rock climb? If not, I'm gonna have to run back to the Pokemon Center, because I can't get through otherwise. Oh my god, I'm lucky. Scolipede can learn rock climb. Let's go. Alright, Clown, what do you want, by the way? Oh, this guy wants me to show him a Solrock or a Solgeo, I think. He's not picky. Either a legendary or a random rock. But I should do that at some point. I can't remember where you get Solrock from anymore, but I should look it up because I think it gives you Sunny Day. And Sunny Day would actually be quite a good TM to have. I could set the rain, I could set the sun as well. I'm the controller of the weather. I'm Storm, the X-Men. There's one final thing. I keep forgetting to do this, and I forgot to do this for some time. I want to teach you Bullet Seed. I want to go full investment on your multi-hitting move strategy. It's probably not a good idea, to be honest with you. Because realistically, what's this good for versus having a... Oh, actually, what's the point of a dark type move, I guess? If I see a psychic type move, I use a bug type move. So yeah, dark has almost got no use here. Alright. So we have now 3 multi-hitting moves on a Pokemon that eventually is going to do flinching. Once I burn it. So let's burn it. Lapras. You're ice water, right? Oh yeah, you're ice water, therefore Rock Blast is super effective. Okay, we'll go for Rock Blast. Cool. 95 accurate, by the way. 75 accurate, you just hit a bear Hydro Pump into me. Joke's on you, Lapras, I'm burnt now. Gonna need 4, I think. Oh, God. Don't hit a bear Hydro Pump. Ah, I hit 2 in a row. Live, Heracross. Actually, you're not living this. Actually, hang on a minute. Maybe you're living this. Alright, I'm switching. We're gonna have to go into... Let's go into Everglades. I want to keep the burn on Heracross, and I'll just heal you up after the battle, assuming I win. 3 in a row, by the way. Scumbag. Alright, 2 can play that game. 85 accurate. Mega Horn. You're swapping? Oh. Gyarados. Gary. Oh, I hit, but... That thing might know Dragon Dance is my big concern right now. Do you know Dragon Dance? Yep. Okay. I don't think you'll be able to one-shot me just yet. Do I do rollout? That's funny. I think we don't do rollout. We'll go with Poison Jab. Holy shit, that would have killed me. Hurricane, though, as we know, 75 accurate, or 70 accurate. 70 accurate, right? And I'm getting faster and faster and faster. And now that I know you're trying to Hurricane me, I'm going to Protect. Why? I want to get faster. I want to be the quickest Pokemon in the game. So that's doubled my speed stats. They've increased it by 50%. I think Gyarados is quicker than Scolipede normally, but Scolipede is relatively quick. I was going to say, I think I'm quicker than you. And now, this is where Scolipede comes in and what I've tried to set this Scolipede up to do. They're meant to be a physical sweeper. They're at the point now where nothing can outspeed it anymore. Even the fastest Pokemon in the game won't outspeed it currently. And I just wanted to go through and kill it. Unfortunately, one of my moves right now is Rollout, which is not a great move, but I'll replace it at some point with, I think Superpower is on my list. Because I don't learn close combat as this Pokemon. 4 in a row! This is crazy. And also, I'll teach it at some point. Oh, sorry, teach it. I'll give it Choice Band at some point so it does, like, disgusting damage, but I can't get into the choice items right now, so don't worry about it. Should I just check if you can learn Break Break, though? I would really like a fighting move on you. Because I can't really beat Steel types. And I'm not great into dragons either. But the fighting move wouldn't have helped. I'll just hit you with a Poison Jab. I don't think this will kill, actually. Didn't even get close. Alright, you won't win this game, Kingdra. This is a wasted move. I think I'm like... Am I +4 now? I'm like 200% times my speed from where I was before. I'll admit, if we both get to +6, I think you're faster than me, but it's going to take some time for you to get up to that stage. Right, nice work, Scolipede. Also, your name's Boot. I just noticed you're called Fisherman Boot. Your parents really didn't set you up for life, did they? Alright. You take a heal, you take a heal. Everglade, I'm just going to top you up as well. Then, take that off you. And then give you a Razor Fang. And now my Heracross is ready and raring to go. I should really think more about what I should give you, but currently I'm just going to give you Mystic Water because you have some water moves. Really? I didn't know eject button got consumed. I'm stupid. I've used my eject button by only eject button. I assume I can farm it somewhere. If not, I've kind of fucked up. We only saw it one time, right? We saw it one time. There must be a way to get more. God damn it. Why is it... I hate consumable items in this game. It's so stupid. Well, easy come, easy go. I'll figure out where to get some more. Okay, well, Morphin is, like, screwed now. Is there any move to get strong with speed? Yes, kind of. There's a move, I think it's called Gyro Ball, which does more damage the faster you are in relation to your opponent. Which is kind of getting more and more damage with speed. But it caps out at a point, I think it's like the max is like 120 damage. So, it's not that good. And I think the Pokemon Company are very careful with what moves they do like that because speed is arguably the best stat in the game. If you go first, you set up the tempo, so it's like hard to beat you then. So I don't think they want to make Pokemon both incredibly fast and very good at sweeping, so... The only way they would have a move like that is if it was like a signature move on a Pokemon which wasn't particularly quick to begin with. It's a bit like the move Spore as well, which you saw me using in the Parasect. Spore's a move that's given to very few Pokemon, and all the Pokemon that get it are pretty slow. Like, I think Amoonguss is like the best Spore user by far, and that's not particularly quick. And it's because it's a 100 accurate sleep move, so if you were very quick with it, you would always go first, and you would always put your opponent to sleep first, which means they wouldn't get to play the game, basically. And that's not deemed to be quite a fun game, so... Alright, Octillery, you are dead. I'm sorry to tell you this. You are going to be turned into some sort of Japanese delicacy via Bullet Seed. And Guts. Please don't hit 2 times. Hit 3 times. Flinch. No, it's going to hit a Bear Hydro Pump as well. Cool, whatever. It's fine, I'll live. Whew. Did more than I thought. How many Pokemon do you have, by the way? 1 more. Seadra. Just... I can't risk it. If I don't get the kill, and I think it'll require 3 hits again to get the kill, or not miss, then I'll die to burn, so I'll swap. Agility in front of Everglade or Escavalier, not a good use of your actions. Escavalier, really slow. Probably shouldn't have pushed Mega Horn there either. 85 accurate move versus 100 accurate would have also killed from their move. Not a good idea. Doesn't matter if we hit. Alright, Heracross. Buddy, I need you to stop getting hit. You're costing me a lot in Hyper Potions now. Okay, there's nothing up there. It's probably the Vivillon quests, which I've not activated yet, but there's a quest to find all the Vivillons on the map. And they don't spawn until you start the quest. Anyway, I think in this grass over here, I think that is where we can get... Oh, he's high up. We can get Volbeat and Illumise, which are interesting Pokemons. And I'll tell you why. They get an extremely strong ability called Prankster. One of them actually gets one of the strongest setup moves in the game, which again is balanced because it's on Volbeat, which is a pretty bad Pokemon. It gets a move called Tail Glow that raises your special attack up 3 stages. It's like the only move that does it. Well, one of the only moves that does it. With no drawback on it. But more to the point, Prankster Pokemon are very good as support Pokemon. It gives you basically, on anything that's not a damaging move, fastest priority in the game. So you can do some really, really sneaky things with it. I trust you, Heracross. You'll hit the Rock Blast. 95 accurate, by the way. I might die for this, you know. Honestly, Olympus Mons. It's a battle for your survival right now. There you go. Stop getting hit by every single Pokemon in the game. You want to learn Iron Head? Sure, that seems reasonable. I think it's better than... Well, it's better than Smart Strike by power. I do lose my guaranteed hit move, but it's okay. Again, Heracross, have a Hyper Potion. Don't get hit again, you dummy. Okay, so this is a different area. I'm pretty certain Volbeat's in there, as I said, in the Illumai, so we should probably run around. I could also be wrong. I think it's here, but I'm not entirely certain. Sand Slash. Again, Olympus Mons, hit your Bullet Seed. Should probably kill. If you both use priority move, who decides to go first? So... You hit twice again. So it depends. If your moves have identical priority, it goes in speed order then, which is like how the battle normally works. There are some priority moves which are faster than others. Like, there's like priority stages. I think it's all the way up to 7 and all the way down to -7. So yeah, it depends if it's identical priority. If it's not identical priority, then it's a speed situation. And if you're speed tied as well, then it's random. It's 50-50. But the nice thing about Prankster is any move which is a status move, so like one that doesn't do damage, gets one increased priority, so it normally goes before most other moves in the game. Except, and I think this is in this game because Prankster got nerfed, against Dark-type Pokemon it doesn't work, it turns it off. Because otherwise it was like obnoxiously strong. I don't trust you to kill Flygon, Heracross. I'm going to level with you. I don't think you got it in you. Alright. You want to learn Toxic? I think in the short time, I think Rollout's actually not as good as Toxic. But in the long term, you're not going to have Toxic. Also, you're called Pistachio. I kind of like it. I like pistachio nuts, very nice. I was talking about my favorite type of nuts the other day, because, you know, when you reach a certain age, that's the type of thing you want to talk about. And I came to the realization that, honestly, the peanut is actually quite low on the list, I think, of, like, the quality of nuts. I will put as an exception on there that the peanut is quite a versatile nut in the sense that you can put, like, a breading coating on it, you can put chocolate on it, you can put yogurt on it. So, in that regard, like, it's pretty good. It's like the Swiss Army knife for nuts, but if you just have, like, a bare peanut on its own, like, just a bare roasted peanut on its own, they're kind of disappointing, honestly. They're not really got much about them. But you put some, like, chili breading on it, holy shit, that's a delicious snack. Some would say too delicious, actually. Some would say, like, I buy them and I would just eat the entire packet in one sitting. Farfetch'd Galarian form, lovely Pokemon. Safetch'd as well, very cool Pokemon. Sadly, not a bug, so I might catch you, though, just because I want to do, potentially at some point, catch every Pokemon in the game. I'm not still sold on that, but you never know. Maybe I'll do it. Honestly, if you live this, I'll try and catch you. Really? A two-piece? Couldn't be worse, honestly. You could have made that, like, more awkward. Thanks. Ah, screw it. I'll just throw some balls at it. I thought you'd at least bring it down into the yellow. Heracross, you kind of dropped the ball on this one. I'll go into Atl, I'll put Toxic on it, and I'll try and kill it before it dies. And if it dies, so be it. I'll come back and get it later. Knock off of my sludge. Wait, it didn't knock off my sludge? Excuse me, I'd like to report a bug. And not the ones on my team. Would I say catching every Pokemon in the game is a bit far-fetched? No, I think it's very reasonable. Actually, that might not be true. There might be some Pokemon you can't actually catch. I can't remember now. There was one point when I first started playing this ROM hack where it wasn't viable. There was some you couldn't catch in the game. I'm actually not entirely certain that's 100% been resolved yet, so... But if that's the case, I'll catch everything but that Pokemon and I'll, like, cheat the last ones in. If it's anything that I can't get anymore, it'll be stuff that is to do with, like, Hisuian, like, legendaries or something like that, I guess. Farfetch, I'd really recommend you getting the ball. You're gonna die otherwise, because the Toxic is getting worse and worse. Like, you're dead next turn, my feathered friend, so get in the ball. Alright. Honestly, I tried. There's a raid den here as well. Survivor also has got a really good move called Glare. And all the snake Pokemon have this move Glare. And again, it's balanced by the fact he's on bad Pokemon. It's a really strong move. It's a bit like Spore, but for paralysis. It's 100% accurate paralysis. Which would be really toxic on a fast Pokemon. Heracross, I think you've got this. If you don't got this, you're gonna die. He's got it. And your other Pokemon is Gothorita. Maybe we should do a snake-only run. Funnily enough, I've thought about doing stuff like that, but there's not enough snakes in the game what I would categorize as a snake. Because it's really like Survivor and Arbok. That's it. It's not quite true. Silicubra as well is out there. You could probably argue that Survivor is a snake as well. But the pool is actually too small. Alright, let me have a look in the raid den as well. Who's in here? Oh, that's funny. It's Volbeat. I actually want this. Okay, I'll take this serious then. Versus Volbeat. Well, ironically, we should actually bring Park. And I guess Tarpit. Although, Tarpit, I don't think I got a rock move on you, do I? Whatever, it won't matter. I say it won't matter, actually, this thing is pretty strong. It's a 4-star raid battle, which I've just unlocked as well with this gym leader. And the better the raid battle, like the better the Pokemon you get from it, also you get better rewards as time goes on, so. And some of these rewards are extremely good, so. Yeah, the later and later we get into the game, the better and better the items I'm getting are. Right, we do not want to see tail glow here. Oh, it won't do. Sorry, it's going to use Dynamax moves. I'm stupid. Alright, I raise my speed, you lower my speed. I see how it is. Bobby, can you die, please? Can you stop putting up armor as I attack you? Alright. We're gonna need to come up with a name for Volbeat. And one other thing I want to quickly check. Volbeat, do you have more than one ability? You do. We might actually not end up using this Volbeat. I really need to have his hidden ability. Because that's Prankster. The other ones aren't quite as good. One of them's Illuminate, which is encounter rate increases, which is like garbage. And the other one is Swarm, which is like the classic bug ability. And it's also not very good. Especially on a supporting Pokemon. You know what? I'm going to trust that you have the hidden ability, because you can get hidden abilities in raid battles. I'll give you a Love Ball. But it's only because you've got your hidden ability, right? Volbeat. Otherwise, you're going to be ground down into a thick, buggy paste. And Fed to the Volbeat that will actually have the ability that I want on it. You also get a nickname. God damn it, I'm so out of things right now. You can be called... I'll call you Jetstream. Assuming it fits. Would you look at that? It's perfect. It was meant to be. Heart scales are a good reward, by the way. Anything that stops me need to play the fucking mining minigame is a plus for me. Actually, we don't need to heal. Alright, do you want to do a battle? You've been running across Boreas. I could take a kid trainer like you. Be careful who you talk to. I've just beaten 3 Ultrabeasts with only bugs. Jumpluff. That is Pokemon. This is the Pokemon for babies or something. Actually, I joke, but Jumpluff is quite good in doubles. It's pretty quick. In singles, I'm not so sure about it. Actually, I think in doubles it's good because it's fast and can do Tailwind, right? That's like what one of his niches were. I think he's got some other good supporting moves as well. Maybe he has like Taunt or something. Or is it a Sunny Day Pokemon or something? Maybe it can do Sunny Day as well. Like Tailwind plus Sunny Day. Oh, it's Safetched. Hello. So handsome. Alright. I've actually not got a good move here. Also not got many good Pokemon into you. Fighting's actually a bit of an issue with this party right now that they've brought out. Theoretically, Mothim should be good, but I need to set Mothim up to be good into Safetched. I'm just going to Poison Jab you. That didn't do as much as I thought. Oh god, it's 3 Swords Dance. That's fine. I don't think he can kill me from here with swords. I'm going to Toxic you. I've changed my mind. Because I think if I don't kill you right now, I might actually have some problems. By the way, Slam I think is 80 accurate, so... The AI is just using low accuracy moves and never missing, which is very cool. Thanks. Okay. We'll Protect to make the poison take it for another turn, and then I'll try and kill it next turn. Or we'll die trying, which I think is what the actual result's going to be. Yeah, I'm pretty certain I don't kill, actually. I would need one more Protect for Atoll to get the kill and live. But I'd rather just take the damage. I think he's going to die to Toxic anyway after this, so we basically trade. Cool. Just out of interest, how accurate is Slam? Just want to quickly check this. Because I had it on Center Scorch for a while, and it fucking annoyed me. Because it's not good. Slam is 80 accurate. Nope, 75 accurate. So, cool. Just land 3 of those in a row. Along with the Hydro Punch, which he hit 5 in a row of whatever it was. Very cool. Can't remember exactly how close I am to the Pokemon Center. I'll just revive you. I'm good for it. Okay, cool. There's a Bionicle in that rock. Not interested in it. Thank you. Sunstone useful. That's going to be interesting if I try and do this battle. There are some battles in this game called, like, air battles or flying battles or something like that, where you're only allowed to use flying-type Pokemon, which, actually with bugs, is not necessarily the hardest thing. There's a few bug flyers. But, you know, there is an issue with that. I'm weak to flying type Pokemon, so it's not an essential battle anyway, so I don't need to worry about it. But if I really want to try and do it, then it could be pretty hard. Also pretty good. Forgot this was actually a real item. So fetched, I tried you once. I'm not doing it again. Also, I can't do you anymore. Zangoose and the Viper around here always fight each other. They do. They mirror the real life animals. Where if you follow like the old story of, you know, the old woman that swallowed the fly, you eventually get down to, you know, the snake and the mongoose eats the snake, and, you know, very, very far down the line get a woman eating a horse or something, and then she dies. That's how that goes, right? Alright, one of the few situations where hitting the multi-hit move is not the right play here. I'll just hit you with a Brick Break. I think the crit mattered there. Are you going to use the Viper now? Yeah, you are. Read you like a book. You caught two natural enemies and tried to make them work together. How liberal of you. That was a joke. Third Rock Blast in a row I've missed, by the way, I think. Of, like, third in 3 battles. And it is 95 accurate, so... Hydro Pumps at 75 accurate, Slams at 75 accurate, easy. 95 accurate moves, impossible. Also, did you just flamethrow me? I wasn't paying attention. I think I saw some flames come out of you. Alright, so Viper is setting up. You set up on me, I'll set up on you. What's happening? That's 30, I think. 30% chance for poison. I'm sorry, Ocean. You're just gonna have to, like, eat it. I don't have a safe swap anymore. Well, I probably did have a safe swap if I was thinking about it. Like, I could have gone into Everglade. But no, we're gonna go into Mothim, and Mothim's gonna show you how he works without a eject button. Where we're going, we don't need to eject. I'll just turn into a flying type Pokemon. Well, maybe people are wrong. Maybe Muffin's actually goated. From everything I've seen so far, it's an unbelievable Pokemon. You just need to set up the rain. And have an infinite supply of eject buttons, sorry. And you're Gucci. Okay, by the way, I think I am actually wrong. I thought Volbeat Illuminize was in here. But I ain't seeing it. I do have in my notes, though, Volbeat Illuminize Route 17. Maybe it's just in raid dens. Which, if that's the case, that's fine. I'll just find it over the course of time. This is a bug trainer. I will be back to fight you, but I do need to heal. You stay away from me. I need to heal. I'll come back and fight all your asses, but the Pokemon Center's like here. Alright. Mothim, you've done some great work. You've been far better than I actually ever expected. Get in the box. We'll bring out... I'll bring out Onsen and take your berry off you. Heracross, you've actually kind of shit the bed a bit, to be completely honest with you. And actually, I said before, I think I needed Parasect for Rock Smash or you for Rock Smash. I bet you Armaldo can do Rock Smash as well, so I think I've got another option. Bring out Thunderclap. Quickly check, you can do Rock Smash, right? I'm not losing my mind. Yeah, all 3 of these can do Rock Smash. I actually didn't know Scavalier could do it. We don't have a Flyer. It would be nice to have Fly, though. Okay, where is Hurricane? We'll bring Hurricane out as well, just so it can fly back. And I'll leave Armaldo behind. So Scavilar's still in. Mothim is out. Yeah, Meg is in, so I can fly back here again once I've done. Heracross, you shit the bed for like the last 30 or 40 minutes in the box. Galvantula is in your place. And are we good? Is that it? Yes. Alright, let's go fight all these traders now. I definitely didn't run away from them. I was just, you know, re-preparing for war. I don't want to fight your Bionicles. I'm not interested. God damn them. They're worth nothing to me. The more I run, the closer my babies get to me. I think you use all, like, unevolved Pokemon, right? I think specifically baby Pokemon. I'm expecting to see Cleffa, Igglybuff, Pichu. That's not one of them. That's a fully evolved Jumpluff, actually. Unfortunately for you, you take a lot of damage from Poison-type moves. And I think you're quite fragile, right? That's your weakness. You're fast, but fragile. So, I don't think you live this. And now the physical sweeper gets faster. Gothitelle. Okay, so you're actually using evolved baby Pokemon, I think. You would not like to get hit by an X-Scissor, is my firm belief. Surprised you lived. You took that better than I thought. Okay, we're in trouble. Goodbye, cruel world. God damn it. I was like so certain I killed there. Oh, you swapped. Okay. Omniboost me. Mr. Mime. Interesting swap. You went from one psychic to another psychic type. Looking better than I thought, though. Honestly, what's the worst that you can do? You're a fucking Mr. Mime. I was going to say, you're just known for setting up barriers. It's literally your gimmick. I will get this Omni Boost. If I throw enough moves at you, eventually I'll get it. One more chance. It's 10% chance, by the way, to get the Omni Boost, so the actual odds are against me with only 5 PP. And I didn't get it. Okay, fair enough. And actually now they've outsmarted me because Gothitelle is going to not get hit by a bug move. I'm detecting, by the way, to waste a turn of screens, which actually I should have done before whilst fighting Mr. Mime. There goes Light Screen. I think Air Cutter will still kill you from here. Famous last words. Okay, we do kill. That'll be Reflect done as well. That's a Pichu. I'm out of here. Goodbye. I don't want to deal with that little runt. Not gonna lie, forgot you did Future Sight. Potentially my bad. Whatever. Soon I have to take the hit. Might as well Thunderclap. And what's your last Pokemon? Swadloon. Okay, a fellow bug-type Pokemon. Unfortunately, it's a bug that is also weak to bugs. Holy shit, it lived. Oh, use Grass Whistle. You're throwing. Well, I think you're throwing. Grass Whistle, I think it's 55 accurate, puts you to sleep. Pretty big risk to take, honestly. Did anyone feel anything that... Fuck, I have the berry on him! Oh my god. Well, -1 Cobra Berry. I forgot to take it off. It's my fault. It doesn't matter, I can farm them. I can actually remember how to farm them as well. Sunkerns drop them. And I only remember that because I wouldn't be able to beat the flying type gym. This challenge would have ended, you know, many moons ago. But for Sunkern in this game, holding a Cobra Berry. If it didn't, I couldn't do it. I would have lost on that gym. Well, now that you've done this, though, I can actually give you a real item. Should have some charcoal spare, I think. Yeah. Enjoy the charcoal. Have I seen every Pokemon in this area yet? No, there's one more. I don't think it's a Lumized either. Let me quickly check. Oh, I bet you might know how to do it. Hang on a minute. I think I might have figured it out. I bet it was a swarm encounter. Route 17. Yeah, the swarm encounters. Bagon's the missing Pokemon, I think, from my list. Okay. I'll have to look up the swarm schedules in a second. Let me just beat all these trainers. I want to show this person I'm the best bug trainer. I want to take this deadly seriously as well. Onsen is going to lead. I thought a Pokemon game where you could plant berries around the map. You could do that in Gen 3. I think that's the first gen you could do it in. I think you could do it in 4 and 5 as well. 5 I don't really remember too much anymore. Nor with 4 either. I've got to be honest with you. They didn't really leave a long memory for me. I remember enjoying 4 a lot, but they're just never replaying it. 5 I remember distinctly not enjoying. I think 5 for me was the worst generation. And then 6 like picked it back up again. Okay, they're using a Scavalier 4 times weak to fire, by the way. Goodbye. And I don't think it learns Sturdy. I was thinking in Pokemon games, if you could make a Pokemon game with, like, you know, like Stardew Valley-esque farming and stuff in it as well for, like, berries and that type of thing. Or even just, like, breeding Pokemon in it. Holy shit, that would sell like crazy. By the way, another Pokemon that's 4 times weak to fire. Goodbye, Levani. That would be the ultimate money printing machine, though, if they combine, like, Pokemon with Stardew. And I say this as someone that, you know, hasn't played Stardew, but, like, those type of games where it's like a farming type thing. Hell, even Farmville would have, like, just printed the money. You want to learn Air Slash? That seems reasonable. In fact, very reasonable. Welcome back, Excelgor. Excelgor, a very quick Pokemon. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a... Well, I was going to say it doesn't have a great moveset. Actually, Excelgor's okay. It's just really fragile, is the issue. And then, like, its moveset is, like, it's okay, but you kind of want your more supporting Pokemon to be a bit more sticky, and it's just not sticky enough. Gastoracid, if I remember, yeah, it suppresses abilities. I don't care. Alright, I've proven to be the strongest bug trainer on this route. Now the last thing I want to do quickly before I restart my game to get the swarm encounter I want. There are a few items I think I missed around the map. Like, there's stuff I could do over here, which I didn't do. Like, what was down here? It's a dive spot, okay. Wish I checked that earlier, because I don't need to be here. Anything over here? Well, Route 16 is over here. Oh wait, is this where they've completed the bridge? I see. Holy shit, that was quick. This had no bridge on it before when I left. It's here now. Alright, well, that's good. Yeah, I think Farmville printed money without Pokemon, but I think if you had, like, the Pokemon branding on it as well, it would just be the ultimate money machine. Right, what's up here? This is why I do this, running around. Side Shock was the move I was talking about earlier, which I think takes your special into their defensive stat. Malamar. Malamar, 4 times weak to Bug, like my ideal Pokemon to face. If only I could face Malamar every single battle, I'd be very happy. Holy shit, I did a lot of damage. What is Nitro Zigzag, by the way? I saw your comment. Is Nitro some sort of, like, bug promoting thing? Because obviously I wouldn't want a bug repellent. I am a bug trainer. Samurott? How about Samurott? I don't want to be in this battle. See you later. Going to Everglade, actually. Did Nintendo create Pokemon, or did they acquire the rights to make the games about them? I don't know for certain, so I'm going to talk on my ass a little bit right now. And I was a kid back then, but I think someone wrote the story that is what is like Pokemon is based on, and I think that Nintendo acquired the rights of that, basically. And then Game Freak was the publisher that developed the game for it. Because I think there wasn't like the 150 Pokemon at the very first. I think Game Freak made a lot of the original Pokemon. And actually, one of the funny things about it is there were meant to be more Pokemon in that first generation, but the cartridge memory limits limited them to like 151. For example, Pikachu had a third evolution. Let's say third, sorry. A second evolution. It was like Pikachu, Raichu, and something else. But they cut it from the game because they hadn't got enough memory for it. You're not gonna fact check? Perfect. Because one of the things I do know is for Yu-Gi-Oh! I believe the manga came first. And then the game and the TV show came about the same time. And there was a situation, because obviously it was like, you know, it was a manga, so they didn't have the full rule set in there. So when they were making the initial games for it on like the old Game Boy and Game Boy Advance and stuff, they didn't have a rule set anymore, so they sort of made their own rule set up, based, roughly speaking, on what the manga was. And they were also at the same time, and not speaking to one another, the TCG was also making like an actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. And the rules between like the manga, the game, and the card game didn't gel together at all. And eventually, you know, they sorted it out and put the rule sets together. But it's why if you play like some of those really, really, really old Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, the gameplay thing just doesn't make sense, like common modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! Or even like old Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't make that much sense. They just didn't speak to one another and all like kind of did their own things. Sounds more reasonable than a lot of the things I heard and believed as a kid anyway. It's good to know that I've got your everlasting trust. But yeah, for the Pokemon situation, either Nintendo bought the rights to something which... It honestly might have been even just as a pitch. Like, someone said, hey, I've got this Pocket Monster game. And Nintendo like, yep, sure, we'll take it. We'll make it a game. You'll be a star, kid. It might have just been one of those situations. I do also remember, I can't remember the game itself on the Game Boy. There were other monster, like, creature collector games, not Digimon, but it was like something completely off-kilt from that. And that just didn't ever, like, you know, catch the same wind that Pokemon did. But I forgot what it's called now. I mean, there are more than them, right? There's many creature collectors. It's like a genre. But I think it was just the timing of it all as well. Like, relatively speaking, stuff coming from Asia was doing better on, like, Western televisions. Especially after, like, you know, Dragon Ball had come out before then. It was quite popular. Especially in, like, LATAM countries as well. But they found, like, some sort of niche to, like, get a hold on to Western audiences. Then, like, you know, it's a cutesy character doing, like, some fighting. Fighting's, like, kind of cool when you're younger. And not only did they have, like, a TV show, you had the game you could play along with the TV show, and then not too long afterwards you had the card game as well. Like, they just cornered, like, all three parts of the geek market, and printed money ever since. We'll pay you $1 for every Pokemon we create, since you get the idea. 25 years for, like, $2,000. I mean, it's kind of, I say it's crazy. Is it crazy? I think, how many Pokemon are there now? I always forget this. It's like there's 1,059 Pokemon. Let me quickly check what the thing's gone up to now. But it's kind of crazy how slow its speed. The company and the concept of the game has been going from like 91, I think it was. Maybe even a bit earlier than 91. That might be when the first game was published. But it's like 35 years ago, 35 years ago. And they've only got 1,000 Pokemon. It's not really like a rapid rate of pumping them out there. I do appreciate some of them have got multiple forms and that type of jazz, but there's 1,025 right now in the game. Soon to probably more as well with the Tsar game that's coming out. Alright, we're in Seaport. You know what? I was going to do this for a bit more longer, but I think we'll leave it here. We've had a few, like, 4-hour episodes recently, so we'll do a 2-hour one, and I'll pick it up next time in Seaport, and we'll start some of the quests in here. We'll do the breeding school, like, quest line, which I've honestly done already. I think the breeding school quest line is breed, like, 50 Pokemon. I'd love to see if it's actually calculated the number of breeding, because I think it must be in, like, the thousands at this point for me, so that'll be a laugh. So, anyway. That'll do it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, YouTube, why not leave a like and subscribe? Everyone helps me out. I'll see you next time. Bye!